All right, YouTube, TikTok. Today we have a lot to talk about. So I have two trades to show you. One of the trades I make about 4 grand, and the other trade I think I make about 2.1. So it's pretty good day. No, let's pretty much get into it. So this is the trade that made me 4 grand. All right, so let's pretty much get into it and let me show you how I was able to do this. All right, so I'm here on Friday. I'm marking out Friday's liquidity. We got the big dump. Thursday, I wish I was able to trade this. That would be nice. But okay, so I was marking out this 4 hour liquidity, as we can see right here, marking out we made one, two, and three equal highs. So what immediately came into my mind is basically there's a lot of liquidity sitting up above here. And I was like, okay, and there's also quite a bit of liquidity kind of coming down below here. So we have one, two, three, four. We have a lot of lows right here. Okay. And then another thing in my mind is basically we have the U.S. Israel Iraq war. I'm not gonna get into politics, but that obviously does affect the market. So that is obviously in my mind. So we have the liquidity that's in my mind, the 4 hour liquidity, and we have the war that's pretty much going on. So I'm like, okay, let me take all this in. And then a little side note off to the side of that, we do have a tiny little gap here. So I'm like, okay, possibly um we could take advantage of this. But before that, this little gap got created, there was a big gap in here, and I was like, okay, we are going to need to fill this gap. There is this is just free roam right here. I mean, we could come into here and possibly soar and possibly take out this liquidity to the top end. And so I was like, okay, so my entry was basically pretty much slightly above the midpoint. As you can see, I had this marked out Friday. I was like, okay. So I was like, we have all this liquidity, we have the war, we have all of this sitting on top of my mind. And then keep in mind, my timestamps are down here. This is like Sunday, March. This is the first right here. This is Asia session here. I barely trade this, but since I knew we had this gap, and I knew that the war was going, I was like, okay, this is definitely going to affect the markets. I definitely need to take advantage of this. This is a lot of money. This is big opportunity. So I was like, all right. So pretty much what I had going on here, I decided to take a nice position. So my position was looking like this. I think I actually had a really tight stop loss because I was like, this is either going to work in my favor quite nicely. This was a nice 1 to 3 right here. As you can see, this was a nice 1 to 3 right here. I use a small, one of my medium sized lot sizes, a small error of margin. Actually, I would have gotten stopped out. Okay, it's actually like slightly above that. Because I had a decent take profit. I'll definitely pop up in a picture, so obviously you guys can see. All right, so that was that right there. That was pretty much it for that trade. Okay, so let's go on to the second trade that we had here, and this is market open. This is for today. Still had the liquidity pretty much up for grabs here. We almost came and grabbed it. I knew that we were either going to grab this nice 4 hour or this nice liquidity sitting on top of the gap here. Now, another reason why I didn't mark out this liquidity right here, which would technically be, so y'all guys always need to make sure y'all mark out y'all's top end liquidity for the session, so you know, so you have some baseline pretty much to go off of for the next trade that you're going to take the next day. Obviously, there's a lot of things that could possibly affect it, but it's always nice to have. But let me talk about today pretty much. So I was like, okay, you can see my trade um, from the previous day, but this is on ES. All right, so this is now. All right. I forgot to mark out London session for the previous day, but let me get this as well. We didn't even grab liquidity. So um we still have this gap. This gap did get filled by Asia session. Then we immediately dump down here via the war, and then we have the top end liquidity. So I was like, okay, we came up here and I was pretty much basically going to take a same trade based off of the same midpoint that we had on the other trade. So I was pretty much just scalping here on like 5 minute. I think I did take my entry. I did take my entry pretty much as soon as we get slightly above there. This is pretty much the retracement candle. I explained this in a couple of other videos. I will they go pretty much in depth on pretty much what I was talking about the retracement candle and stuff. There's a lot of free game here on my YouTube. So if y'all guys definitely want to go check out my other YouTube videos, they explain different situations, when it comes to trading, you definitely want to put yourself in a bunch of different situations so you know how to react off of what is giving to you, because the markets will manipulate you and will they will take you out. They are pretty ruthless, so you need to be able to get in and definitely I would definitely recommend demo, but a lot of people do not like demo. So pretty much I definitely did take a small lot size here. So that was pretty much what my trade looked like. So basically I just traded off the same midpoint that I did last time because there was still a lot of liquidity left within here. I know this was not the best price action that you can possibly see here because I obviously did. I almost came down to almost stop out here. Well, it was really break even. As soon as I placed my trade, we pretty much just hit it right here. And we did have a slight pullback because it wouldn't let me out of my position. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Just traded off of a pretty much the same gap that we traded off to, because there was a lot of liquidity on this line right here. I knew if we broke above it, we would pretty much take out either this one up here, or we would pretty much soar even higher, and we did. So we would either take out this one or this one right here. So that was pretty much it in terms of liquidity. So that's why I had this green line, this green box, because this represented a lot of liquidity, and we're getting a lot of pullback. So we no longer need this. Let's go here. Remove this. A lot of things that I do need to remove here. Remove the Asia session lines. Remove this. Yes. So that's pretty much it in terms of the trading. Let me go here so I can pull out some of my notes that I have written down here. Hope y'all's trades are going pretty good. The politics are giving us a lot of opportunity in the markets. I feel like a lot of people don't really take opportunity when it comes to here. Like, you need to buy the rumor, sell the news, is pretty much what we do around here. And honestly, bro, I'm not gonna lie, you gotta understand this shit, it's gonna work out, like, no matter what. If you do not give up, it is going to work out, no matter if it takes a year, no matter if it takes 2 years, no matter if it takes 3 years, if it takes 5 years, if it takes as 10. As long as you never give up, and it's gonna work out. And that's what separates you from the 99% of other people that end up failing, is that they give up so easily. So you don't. So your morals of the end of the story, no matter how long it takes, it is your journey. Enjoy it. I mean, that's some pretty good game there. I mean, yeah, a lot of people quit before it really, takes off. There's a lot of free game out here that y'all need to take advantage of. I try to, lay out what I do pretty much every single day. I mark out my charts each and every single game. I mean, every single day. Jesus. So yeah, I mean, this is literally what I do day in and day out. I mean, I pretty much give it my all. I basically take what is given to me, and I pretty much use my market experience, which I know that it takes a really long time to be able to deliver, and that's what I was basically saying in that little notepad that I pretty much written down. I mean, it is like pretty much, it takes quite a while. I am not gonna lie, but you need to put in the time and in the effort, because I guarantee you it'll pay off. And if you have this skill, you can pretty much use it every single day, Monday through Friday. And I mean, if you're into crypto, you can use it with crypto too. Crypto is slightly coming back, I won't lie, but it still has some room to go. It still has room to develop pretty much. And we are almost coming in to London session here. So I'm literally showing y'all exactly what I do day in and day out, marking out my liquidity. 4 hour, you're literally watching. As soon as I turn off the cameras, this is literally what I'm doing. Just looking at liquidity to be able to take advantage of. And we are really down here. So marking the closest 4 hour liquidity, marking this 4 hour liquidity on ES here. And then we are going to scale down to 5 minutes. See, I marked out my liquidity as I do each and every single day, since I know where it is. Turn on the magnet. You are literally watching me what I do each and every single day. Y'all guys just need to stick with it, put in the work. I promise you, it does not take that long. If you sit there and lock in on the charts each and every single day. So I think we're going to end it off there. And I know if you stay to the end of the video, you are a real viewer and you are going to make it in these markets and in these charts. Because I mean, if you can't sit through an 11-minute video, then I don't expect you to sit through a 2 hour trade, taking in, your risk management, your psychology, just pretty much every emotion that comes in with trading. So that is pretty much it. And actually, I don't think I actually need this. Actually, we need this liquidity down here. All right, that's going to end it off for today. All right, I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Stay true to yourself. Stick to your risk management. Stick to your psychology day in and day out. Stick to that trading plan that you've laid out. Make sure you follow it to a T. I'm going to catch y'all guys in the next video. Peace.